Hi, my dear friends, simplification officers. Did you know about Modern Waterfall? There's many of those agile consultants, digital people that are like, yeah, waterfall is bad. We don't do it. We don't want this kind of huge batches in the phase gate model. It's a bad thing to have. But many of the organizations I see, they're not simplifying their structures as such, and they use modern practices into a kind of old structures, and they end up with what I would call modern waterfall. What is modern waterfall now? In my opinion, it starts with a couple of hotshot business managers, your executives, and they go into design thinking. So they might have some kind of design thinking gurus in the company, or they hire a design thinking consultancy company, and then they go off in a retreat and do design sprints, and then after the design sprint, they come up with, this is the new product we need to develop that will save our business. So they define this product, they find a business model behind it, and that's where their job stops, of course, because they are not there for the details, they are there for the bright ideas, aren't they? Design thinking practices, to be honest, I love them. I really love design thinking practices, but they should be applied differently. Generally, what do we see happening is the hotshot business managers with a consultancy company, and they define products. So they create this product definition and then they pass it on. So that's where the waterfall starts. They pass it on to the next one. What is going next? The next one that we need to do definitely these days, we need to have great user experience, customer experience. So we give it to a UX or a CX department or a consultancy company. So the next gate, the next waterfall step. So what are they doing? They do customer interviews, they do customer journey maps, they do empathy mapping. So lots of great techniques, but they should be used differently. I have nothing against lean UX and design thinking practices. I have something on how I see them being applied in large companies. They go to UX, they do all of these things, they add more documentation and they pass it on to the next phase. What's the next phase? The next phase is, you know it, come on, tell it to me. Oh, I'm ready. It's UI. We need to add wireframes. We need to make sure that everybody understands which fonts to use, which colors, where to put the stuff. So we're going to add more documentation. So as soon as we have this, we give it to development teams. And in development teams today, it used to be like this 20 years ago, but today we understand that we have testers and developers together, but we have so many, so we need to split it up. So we first parse all of this documentation through our enterprise architects. Those enterprise architects are splitting it up in all smaller components. Let's build Lego blocks. We should not build products, we should grow products, but people don't seem to realize. Anyhow, we get it to the teams, and that's where agility is, by the way, so it shouldn't be, but anyhow. So developers and testers are building their own Lego block, but now we have loosely coupled Lego blocks. If we would stop here, we have the IKEA model of software engineering. Our customers don't want this, of course. So we need to move to the next step in our waterfall thing. So we need to have some kind of integration department. I've seen integrations in many different release train engineer or release engineers or whatever it's being called these days in SAFe. We have the NIT or Nexus integration team being abused to have this. We have chapters being abused for it. We have guilds being abused for it. We have communities being abused for it. But at least we have a separate integration department that collects all of the Lego blocks and put it all together in what we hope to be the right product. It's also being delivered at that moment in time? No, not at all, because if we put the blocks together, we need to see if the building that we have created is actually complying to the wishes we had that were documented by our senior management and their design thinking, by UX and their or CX and their customer journey maps, the UI, and does it all comply to all the documentation we had before, especially ignoring all the learning the developers and testers had while building it. Yeah, they cannot. There's no learn, there's only, I don't know, avoid. Anyhow, integration doesn't know, so we need to have QA, we need to have some kind of other acceptance phase that is the integrated acceptance phase. And now at the end we can actually put it really at the customer's hands, and that's where we today find ka-ching, DevOps. I don't know why dev is there. It's ops, the dev is already done. If we want DevOps, then DevOps is the complete picture from thinking about product to releasing the product. It's what Agile should be, it's what Scrum should be, it's what less is about. We don't have separate DevOps, it's just practice or some mindset that is very useful in a less context. Oh, but you see, we have Modern Waterfall. We do design thinking, we deliver documents. We do UX or CX and we deliver documents. Then we have UI, wireframes and other documentation. Then it goes to architects, just to split it up to be honest, but it goes to the teams. Teams build separate components. We need to integrate. The integration, we don't know how it works, so we need QA, and after QA we need to have operations to put it in production and keep monitoring it, of course. So here you go, Modern Waterfall. If we go in less, we don't want this. We want all of those activities happening within the same organizational structure. So change your structures and become more agile. Avoid Modern Waterfall in your near future. Thanks for listening. This was fun again. See you next time. Bye bye.